Do something.
As in what?
What if I give you all the resources this hospital has? How can you help?
We've all used stupid words. He got caught on camera.
He said he'd release the video.
Someone else is threatening him.
I know which one my money's on.
Later, Jimmy Fallon welcomes Sigourney Weaver, NBC Tonight.
On our broadcast tonight, jury deliberations are underway in the Darrell Brooks trial. We'll have a recap of what happened during closing arguments. Plus, nearly 1 million Wisconsin residents do not have access to internet. We'll explain how Wausau is working to expand broadband. And early voting is underway in Wisconsin. We'll have the details as your local news starts right now.
News Watch 12 with Jessica Jukic and Jeff Weller.
Good evening and welcome to News Watch 12 at 10. I'm Jessica Jukic. Jury deliberations are underway in the Darrell Brooks trial. Today, jurors listened to 5 hours of jury instructions which were read by the judge. Brooks is accused of killing 6 people and injuring dozens by driving an SUV through a Christmas parade last year. He's facing 76 charges in the parade crash that happened on November 21st in Waukesha, including 6 intentional homicide counts. Jurors heard closing arguments from both sides. Prosecutors allege Brooks got into a fight with his ex-girlfriend on the street of the parade and fled by driving into the parade. Brooks, who is representing himself, argued the SUV he was driving had been recalled due to a throttle malfunction. But a Wisconsin State Patrol vehicle inspector testified during the trial that the vehicle was in good working order. Today, Brooks was not allowed to be in the courtroom for the prosecution's closing statements. Judge Jennifer Doe Rowe says that this was due to Brooks's repeated disruptions and lack of decorum in the courtroom. It was a chilly night in the Northwoods. Jeff, definitely a different picture than over the past few days.
Yeah, one of those weird days today where we had high temperatures near midnight last night, been dropping kind of ever since. So a cool day, windy day as well, with high temperatures that did this earlier this morning. They've been dropping ever since, basically in the 30s to 40s across the afternoon. And tomorrow is some recovery with high temperatures back up in the mid to upper 40s across the area tomorrow. But today we did this, 50, but again, it was early before all this cool air kind of flooded in, and then we had a pretty cool afternoon. Right now, though, it's 40 in Rhinelander, 39 Eagle River, 39 also for Anago. It's cool out there right now. We'll have low temperatures tonight down near freezing. We got almost a half-inch of rain last night, so whatever's wet out there will likely freeze tonight with those cool temperatures across the area. Still some rain across eastern Wisconsin. Most of us, though, are dry. There could be a couple sprinkles across, say, Wapaka County, over to Portage County, Adams County. The rest of us, though, are all good. Just a cool night ahead with temperatures down near 30. Okay, so looking ahead, your forecast line, you're looking at partly cloudy skies to mostly cloudy skies. A little drizzle can't be ruled out across eastern counties with low temperatures down near 33. Your full forecast is coming up. Jessica.
Thank you, Jeff. A summit for local, state, and federal officials took place in Wausau today to discuss bringing internet to all residents in Wisconsin. Newswatch 12's Kyle Pozorski was there and has the details.
The pandemic opened the eyes of many people who realized the importance of bringing internet access to places outside of urban centers. In Wisconsin, more than 500,000 people still do not have access to any internet at home.
We're still missing the infrastructure and we're still missing the affordability piece.
This need has prompted leaders within Wisconsin to begin thinking of solutions to bring internet to all residents. Those in attendance at the Connecting Wisconsin kickoff agree that work needs to be done, with no better way than collaborating on how to solve the problem of rural internet access.
We know that there are still 650,000 residents in the state of Wisconsin that lack access to the actual infrastructure. So those 650,000 are our first priority.
And she says engagement amongst local, state, and federal government will all be crucial in the effort to all get connected.
So we want to know, are you proposing a project where you have the buy-in of your local leaders and your community leaders? That matters a lot to us when we're looking at how to best deploy the dollars.
Some of the discussion topics during today's meeting, including mapping and data, digital equity and inclusion, as well as community collaboration. In May, the Rhinelander Airport director disrupted a PFAS study when he altered equipment on airport property. This action made the equipment data unusable. After a police investigation, the Oneida County District Attorney has decided not to prosecute the airport director, saying his actions were a result of miscommunication. Airport Director Matthew Leitner removed caps from the scientific instruments called lysimeters on May 26th. Here's footage of the UW-Madison team installing those lysimeters. Leitner says he learned that the lysimeters were there for a graduate student who was gathering data. The graduate student said he had permission from the city to install and monitor the lysimeters, but a police investigation found that was never communicated to the airport. The investigation found that former city administrator Zach Ruwink emailed Leitner about the PFAS study, but did not include anything about the lysimeters on airport property. Also, Ruwink said Digger's hotline was contacted before the lysimeters were installed, who would have in turn notified the airport. However, Detective Brian Colombino reached out to Digger's hotline, and the organization's records showed they were never contacted about installing these lysimeters. These lapses in communication led District Attorney Michael Schick to write that Leitner's actions appear to be reasonable under circumstances. Detective Colombino agreed that Schick's decision not to prosecute Leitner. The body of a missing Sheboygan man was found in Langlade County yesterday. 58-year-old Adam Kraus was last seen around 7 p.m. on September 30th, leaving Joni and Stubbs East Shore Resort in Pearson on Rolling Stone Lake in a paddle boat. Kraus was then declared missing on October 1st. His body was found in the waters of Rolling Stone Lake near the town of Ainsworth yesterday evening. No foul play is believed to have taken place. At this point, the death is assumed to be accidental. Officials in Heartland, Wisconsin have ruled a deadly fire last week as a murder-suicide. Authorities say all 6 victims in the fire were shot before their apartment was set on fire. Each of the 6 victims were found with a single gunshot wound. Authorities say Connor McKissick's was self-inflicted.
The details and context of all other individual wounds are still under investigation. There is also evidence of an ignitable liquid in the apartment where it normally would not be located.
The community is collecting donations for the other 3 families who lost their home in the fire. Police in Eau Claire, Wisconsin released incredible video of a car crash where the driver has been arrested for drunk driving. A street camera caught this crash at 9:20 a.m. on Saturday morning earlier this month. The crash ended with the driver getting arrested for OWI and recklessly endangering safety. The driver veered off the road, struck a car that was stopped at a stoplight, and rolled onto a car parked in the parking lot. When officers arrived on scene, they identified 22-year-old Nicholas Ives as the driver of the vehicle. During the investigation, Ives had a preliminary breathalyzer test of 2.24. Today's the first day for early voting for this election cycle. The Democratic Party of Wisconsin chairs stopped by Rhinelander to encourage people to make a plan to vote. Ben Wickler talked to supporters today outside City Hall. Wisconsin's known for its close elections, so Wickler said it's important to make a plan to vote and that it's easy to vote in person.
I want to make sure that folks here in the North Woods and in Rhinelander and across the whole state of Wisconsin know that the time to cast their ballots is now.
In-person absentee voting is available to Rhinelander residents at City Hall during business hours. For smaller towns, you can contact your local clerk if you'd like to vote early. Wisconsin's workforce is expected to shrink over the next 8 years, and a work program is giving students with disabilities hands-on training. We'll have the details after weather right here on Newswatch 12.
A governor's job is to make your life better. But would anything on Tim Michael's agenda actually help you? His rhetoric is violent.
People should just be ready to get out in the streets with pitchforks and torches.
At his company, women say they were pressured to have sex with their bosses. And he said he'd consider abolishing the Department of Public Instruction. It's a radical's dream, but it wouldn't do a single thing for you. Tony Evers' plan is pretty simple. Create good-paying jobs and bring costs down. That's the right plan for Wisconsin.
The Internet of Things is evolving, creating the Internet of You. And Spectrum, America's leading internet and mobile provider, is bringing you seamless connectivity across all your devices. Introducing Spectrum One. Spectrum Internet with speeds of 300 megabits, advanced Wi-Fi, and Spectrum Mobile Unlimited, all for just $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999. Spectrum Internet delivers speeds up to a gig with over 99.9% network reliability. Advanced Wi-Fi provides enhanced security and privacy that automatically blocks threats to protect all of your devices. And Spectrum Mobile gives you unlimited talk, text, and data with nationwide 5G and the most reliable service coast to coast. Switch now. Call 833-673-4999. At Spectrum, it's not just about connecting things. It's about connecting you. Get it all with Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and one line of Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999 or visit a Spectrum store today.
Dupixent helps you do more with less asthma and can help you breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that's not for sudden breathing problems. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Ask your specialist about Dupixent.
There you are. Welcome back, my friends. You and I get to chat weather for about 4 minutes, and here we are. That's a weird-looking picture. I'll just kind of climb in here. Okay, so up and down temperatures across our region today. Highs near 50 earlier. Am I in there yet? There I am. And then it kind of fell pretty much all afternoon, and now we are hanging out in the 30s across much of the area. In fact, Chris, I'm going to walk over to Chroma. Can we do that? Is that better for you? With temperatures out there across the area now, hanging out in the 40s for highs and 50s today. We're now hanging out. There we are. Okay, let's do that. All right, so highs today. 50s here, 40s over there, but that was earlier, and now we've dropped across the area. We're much colder now than we were yesterday at this hour, of course, as that cold front came through, and we're going to have low temperatures tonight down. You ready? Near 30 degrees tonight. Right now, we're already at 40 in Rhinelander, 39 for Mosinee, 40 for Leona, 47 for Green Bay. So here we are looking at cool temperatures again. This is about what we're supposed to do, though, because we have a cold front come through, and it's Wisconsin in October. Going forward, though, so 48 for us tomorrow, 52 for Thursday, 55 for Friday. But then look at this. 60 is back on the map for Saturday. Sunday, maybe 60 as well. Monday, too. So looking at the trend, looking at warmer temperatures once again. Not like 70 like it was last weekend, but we'll take 60 around here, right, with temperatures this weekend and beyond. Going forward today, lots of cloud cover out there pretty much all day long. That kept temperatures back, and there was a wind out there as well. See the flag flowing right there? But that wind is now pulling back again a bit tonight. There could be a little bit of dense fog later on. Other than that, though, we're pretty quiet this evening as we'll have decreasing clouds overnight tonight. Lots of rain across parts of eastern Wisconsin today. Places like Chicago and Madison, Milwaukee all had rain showers. For us, though, not so much. Just some light rain showers earlier gave way to partly cloudy skies through the afternoon. The clearing line, though, is back here to the west of us. That is moving in our direction. So tomorrow looks like lots of sunshine back in the forecast through the afternoon. That will give us high temperatures back up near 50. But the bigger issue is nothing going on over here at all, right? This is not a very October-like pattern across our neck of the woods. So there's no rain and or snow in our forecast anytime soon. That's a problem because here's a drought monitor, and where it's been dry across the west, of course, for decades, but also here in Wisconsin, level 1 and level 2 dry conditions. Now, it's not the growing season, not the biggest deal in the world here, but you get the idea. We could use some rain or snow around here. Our forecast then for tonight, though, is lots of clouds out there, low temperatures down near freezing. If there are a couple puddles still out there, they could freeze overnight tonight. Look for a northwest breeze around 5 to 10. For tomorrow, it's Wednesday already. Lots of sunshine out there. You're going to feel the breeze, though, making that 48 feel much colder throughout the afternoon. And then looking ahead, your 7-day forecast by Northwest Furniture and Mattress shows tomorrow 48, 52 for Thursday, Friday 55. But look what happens here. Saturday back up near 60, Sunday 58. And there is Halloween this year. Looks like 60 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Jessica.
Thank you, Jeff. Project Search is a unique one-year school-to-work program that allows hands-on training for students with disabilities. Students here in Rhinelander are having the opportunity to gain that experience. Newswatch 12's Mohammed Abdul Kawi has the story.
It is tough to get, any type of further experience without experience.
Project Search is a program that gives interns with disabilities a chance at gaining hands-on training.
We made the move down here due to the increased size, number of departments, and opportunity for different rotational work to be developed.
Rod Olson is the Project Search instructor. He says that enhancing students' skills through various tasks will help them in the long run.
The goal is to have them start at tasks that they can manage to start off, and then with the help of a skills trainer, instructor, and mentors within the department, develop more skills and take on higher level tasks.
Interns like Hannah get to work around areas of the hospital, working with nurses, and even interacting with patients.
I do the linens, make sure the patients have warm blankets or have anything they need, like juice or snacks.
Treating cancer is what Kimberly Hetland does daily. But now, she believes this program gives staff members another purpose as well.
So working in cancer care, we have a purpose of treating cancer and creating survivorship. Now we have this purpose of also working with these students and develop skill sets.
Without more people moving to Wisconsin, the state's working age population is expected to shrink by about 130,000 people within 8 years. That's according to a recent report by Forward Analytics, the research arm of Wisconsin Counties Association. The report found that the state struggles to attract and retain young people. Wisconsin lost at least 100,000 people younger than the age of 26 over the last decade, which could have long-term consequences for Wisconsin's labor force. From 2012 to 2020, the report found more than 460,000 families moved out of Wisconsin. We're learning new details in the deadly shooting at a St. Louis school. And the Wisconsin DNR is working towards improving air quality. We'll have the details after the break.
In the Senate, Ron Johnson pushed tax loopholes benefiting himself and his donors.
Did my business benefit? Sure. Did some of my donor businesses? Sure.
But here's what Johnson's doing to us. He voted to raise the retirement age and allow cuts to Social Security. Even supports letting Wisconsin ban nearly all abortions and said, if you don't like it, you can move. Ron Johnson works for himself, never us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% financing for 66 months.
ELM Repair in Edgar is a family-owned and operated full-service diesel repair shop. From pickups to semi-trucks to heavy equipment and RV service. If it runs on diesel, we can repair it. Want more power and better mileage? Our experienced professionals will get your truck running and at peak performance. With a state-of-the-art dyno and fully stocked parts department, we can even come out to you with our 24-hour mobile repair service. ELM is always looking for passionate and talented people to join our team. The Diesel Doctor have it done right the first time at ELM Repair.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Ron Johnson caught lying. Independent fact checks call his attacks on Mandela Barnes false and misleading. But it's Johnson's views that are alarming. Johnson supported a ban on abortions. He co-sponsored a bill that makes no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And Johnson said if women don't like it, they can move. The truth is, it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
Coming up, we're joined by Up North Nutrition talking about their healthy fall smoothies.
And it's actually feeling like fall outside. Cooler temperatures have arrived. When is warm weather here? I'll have all the answers coming up.
St. Louis police are releasing more details about the gunman who opened fire at a high school Monday. Investigators say the suspect had an AR-15 style weapon and was carrying hundreds of rounds of ammunition. They say the attack could have been much worse. Jen Sullivan breaks down what we're learning about the gunman and the 2 people who were killed in that deadly attack.
Chilling new details emerging about the man police say opened fire on a high school in St. Louis Monday, killing 2 people and injuring several others.
The shooter was in the hallway and fired a shot at myself.
Police say the shooter was carrying an AR-15 style gun when he entered Central Visual Performing Arts High School. He had more than 600 rounds of ammunition. 7 magazines were strapped to his chest, an extra 8 magazines in a bag, and he dropped other magazines inside the school. Investigators found a handwritten note in the suspect's car. The St. Louis interim police commissioner sharing part of the harrowing document during a press conference.
I don't have any friends. I don't have any family. I've never had a girlfriend. I've never had a social life. I've been an isolated loner my entire life. This was the perfect storm for a mass shooter.
We're also learning more about the 2 people killed in the attack. 61-year-old Jean Kushka, a health and PE teacher, and 15-year-old Alexandria Bell, who would have celebrated her 16th birthday next month.
She was the little girl that I love to see, that I love to hear from.
Authorities say the shooter was a recent graduate with no prior criminal history, and it's still unclear how he was able to get inside the building. Police say all of the doors were locked. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
A fire at a Cleveland, Ohio auto repair shop resulted in explosions and a partial building collapse. This happened today on the city's east side. Cleveland Fire says the blaze led to multiple explosions and extended to a neighboring occupied home. No injuries have been reported. However, fire crews did rescue a number of pets from nearby homes. Additionally, the blast from one of the explosions caused the airbags on a battalion vehicle to deploy. The cause of that fire is under investigation. A severe drought in the South is hampering efforts to ship products on the Mississippi River. A new report shows the cost to ship soybeans is up to a staggering 300% since July. The dry conditions are making it harder for barges to move on the waterway. They have to travel slower and carry less goods because the river is shallow and narrow. Some say the drought could not have come at a worse time since its peak harvest season, and farmers are trying to sell those crops. Authorities say this is the worst drought to hit the South since the late 1980s. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is working on improving air quality throughout the state. The DNR is accepting applications for projects that reduce diesel emissions. $360,000 of funding are available from the EPA for public and private vehicle fleet replacements. The Diesel Emission Reduction Act program has helped improve air quality by reducing emissions, which contributes to climate change. So far, the program has 5,200 pieces of diesel equipment have been replaced through that program. The equipment and vehicles eligible for funding are school and transit buses, construction and agriculture vehicles. Applications are open until December 9th. A study predicts Wisconsin can achieve net zero emissions by 2050 and boost its economy in the process. Clean Wisconsin, Inc. says to achieve the goal, the state must reach 100% clean electricity through wind and solar energy. Wisconsin must also reduce fossil fuels in several sectors, including transportation, manufacturing, and heating and cooling. Increasing the amount of renewable energy will lead to 28 to 63 fewer deaths per million population from air pollution. The environmental consultant says the changes would also add $16 billion to Wisconsin's economy and add 68,000 jobs. The consultant also says changes would lower out-of-pocket costs for fuel and energy. Lead poisoning has no obvious symptoms but can lead to long-term effects. We'll explain the lingering dangers of lead exposure and how to reduce those risks.
800 convicted criminals released. 270 murderers and attempted murderers released. 44 child rapists released. Tony Evers' parole commission has released hundreds of violent criminals early, including some of the worst killers in Wisconsin history. Evers' liberal policies are making our communities less safe. Tony Evers put criminals first and our family's safety last.
Coming from the Midwest, we know that winter can chill to the bones. Menards has all the heating options to combat those cold months. Need heat wherever you are? Check out our endless options of space heaters. Want something for a cozy living space? Pick up one of our many fireplaces. Job sites? Home? We have your back. Menards has heating options for whatever situation you need it for, and get 11% off it all.
Save big money at Menards.
As an Army commander, I served God, family, and country. But the media, they say none of that matters anymore. When I was 9 years old, my dad handed me a shovel and put me to work. Nowadays, people get paid to sit on the couch. I'm Tim Michaels. I'm not some career politician. I'm a self-made businessman who doesn't give a rip about the special interests or their money. I'm running for governor to turn Madison upside down and take back the freedoms that make Wisconsin great.
Tim Michaels for governor.
Saturday, October 29th, the Wisconsin Department of Justice will be holding a free prescription drug take-back event. If you have unused or unwanted medications, ointments, patches, non-aerosol sprays, inhalers, vials, or pet medication, clean out your medicine cabinets. Don't let your old medication fall into the wrong hands by disposing of unused or unwanted medications properly. For more information on locations and accepted items, go to doseofrealitywi.gov. This information is brought to you by the Human Service Center of Vilas, Forest, and Oneida County.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Ron Johnson caught lying. Independent fact checks call his attacks on Mandela Barnes false and misleading. But it's Johnson's views that are alarming. Johnson supported a ban on abortions. He co-sponsored a bill that makes no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And Johnson said if women don't like it, they can move. The truth is, it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
It can be found where a child lives, learns, and plays. But when lead is touched, swallowed, or breathed in, it can be extremely dangerous. But there are things parents can do to prevent lead exposure. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on the hidden dangers in homes and what a pediatrician says you should do to protect your children during National Lead Poisoning Awareness Week.
It's a danger facing many children, and most who experience lead poisoning show no obvious immediate symptoms, but the effects can be long-term.
Lead poisoning can affect every single system in the body.
Lead can be found in homes built before 1978, the year lead-based paints were federally banned, in certain water pipes, in some products like toys and jewelry and more. Young children are most at risk, says Cleveland Clinic pediatrician Dr. Rupa Takor.
Under the age of 2, when they're crawling around, playing a lot, and putting everything in their mouths.
Parents can protect against lead exposure by getting their homes checked by a licensed lead inspector, especially if the house was built before 1978. Hire trained contractors when renovating who use lead-safe practices. Wet mop floors, windows, and windowsills often. Leave shoes by the door or outside as to not track in lead. Shower and change clothes after working around lead-based products. Protect soil. Cover the ground with grass, mulch, or wood chips to stop kids from playing in bare dirt that could be contaminated, and avoid certain children's products that may contain lead. That includes imported or antique toys and toy jewelry. A doctor can also test for lead in the blood.
So the idea is that before they show symptoms that might be concerning for lead, we identify them and make sure that they have access to therapies that might help to improve their outcomes, and also that we address the lead source in their home so that there's not further exposure.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The CDC says parents can also visit the Consumer Product Safety Commission's website for photos and descriptions of toys that are currently recalled. We'll be right back with one final check of the forecast after the break.
Democrats defunded and dispirited our police, creating the worst crime wave in decades. Biden spent us into 40-year high inflation, drove gas prices to record levels, and opened our borders, causing a flood of illegal immigrants and deadly drugs. Mandela Barnes supports all the policies causing you and your family so much pain. He will rubber stamp their liberal agenda. Mandela Barnes sides with radical leftists, not with you.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
At Batteries Plus, we do more than replace batteries and fix phones and tablets. We help our neighbors power their lives.
Visit Batteries Plus for free auto battery testing and installation. Get powered in-store, curbside, and at batteriesplus.com.
We didn't forget about the crumbs at the bottom of the bag. We're just prolonging our time with every last bit of crispy, juicy tender.
Enjoy the crispy chicken sandwich and pair it with medium fries and a $1 any size Diet Dr. Pepper.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
There's nothing like hitting the waves.
There's nothing like volunteering, but my moderate to severe eczema can make it hard.
Now, I'm staying ahead of it.
Dupixent helps heal your skin from within, so you can have clearer skin and noticeably less itch. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your doctor about Dupixent.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job, so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get a $500 cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine when you purchase. Plus, current Chevy owners can get an additional $2,500 loyalty cash. And now during truck season, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories.
Radical Tim Michaels is extremely divisive.
I don't care who I offend.
And at his company, the culture comes from the top. Multiple court filings say women were sexually assaulted, harassed, and pressured to have sex with their bosses.
If she refused demands for sex, she would be blackballed from working on a pipeline job.
Higher-ups dismissed the women as liars and fired those who spoke out.
I don't care who I offend.
That's how Tim Michaels runs his company. Don't let him run our state.
Jeff, it is cold out there. Definitely a different change of pace from the weekend.
Not sure it's cold yet,